Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. Today, we're speaking with Diego, a Colombian migrant who went from cleaning offices to working again in his professional career as a chemical engineer. Diego, thank you for being here.
Hi, Emma. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Diego, tell us a little about yourself. How did English change your life?
Well, when I arrived in Australia, English was a huge barrier for me. Back in Colombia, I worked as a chemical engineer, but when I came here, I was afraid of job interviews because I couldn't communicate confidently. So, for almost 2 years, I worked cleaning offices.
I can imagine how difficult that must have been. Many migrants experience the same thing.
Yes, especially during the first months. You arrive with 2 suitcases, lots of dreams, and a lot of uncertainty.
Wait, Diego, you said uncertainty. What does that mean?
Great question. Uncertainty means not knowing what will happen in the future. It's when you're worried because everything is unknown.
That's a useful word for migrants because many of us feel uncertainty when we move abroad. Tell us, what made you leave Colombia?
I was working for the government as a chemical engineer. During the late 1990s, violence and instability affected many regions of Colombia. My wife and I wanted a safer future for our daughters, so we made the difficult decision to leave.
Wow, you left Colombia in the 1990s? You look much younger.
Haha, thank you, Emma, but I'm married.
Don't worry, Diego. I'm only giving you a compliment.
I know. Maybe changing my habits helped me look younger.
Really? Ha ha ha. Wow, that's incredibly brave. You were risking everything.
Yes, it wasn't easy. We had to save money, pay for visas, insurance, flights, and all the paperwork.
Migrating alone is already expensive. I can't imagine doing it for a family of 4.
Exactly. My wife actually traveled first with our 2 daughters. I stayed in Colombia for another year studying English.
Did learning English help immediately?
Not really. My classes focused heavily on grammar and memorizing vocabulary. Progress felt slow. When I finally arrived in Australia, I discovered something shocking.
What was that?
Australians spoke much faster than the recordings from my English classes. I understood maybe 30% of what people were saying.
That's something many learners experience.
Absolutely. Some days I wondered if all the sacrifice was worth it. I worked long shifts cleaning offices. I arrived home around 8 p.m. exhausted. I barely had energy to spend time with my daughters.
That must have been frustrating.
Very frustrating. One evening while I was sitting on a train after work, I had a realization.
Wait, what's a realization?
A realization is a moment when you suddenly understand something important.
I love that word. So, what was your realization?
I realized that my biggest obstacle wasn't my job. It wasn't Australia. It wasn't my age. It was my English. If I didn't improve my English, my life would stay the same.
So what did you do?
I made a decision. I started waking up 2 hours earlier every morning. I listened to podcasts, repeated sentences aloud, and practiced shadowing every day.
Hold on. What is shadowing?
Shadowing is when you listen to a native speaker and immediately repeat what they say, copying their pronunciation and rhythm.
That's a fantastic technique.
It really helped me. At first, it was difficult. Some mornings I wanted to stay in my warm bed, but then I thought about my daughters. That gave me motivation.
Many people believe only children can learn languages.
I used to think that too. Now I know that's not true. Anyone can learn a language if they're consistent and disciplined.
Consistent. That's another important word. What does it mean?
Consistent? It means continuing to do something regularly even when you don't feel motivated.
That's powerful. Consistent.
My family and I even made a rule at home. We would speak English every day, even if we made mistakes. We corrected each other and kept practicing. After 1 year, our confidence improved dramatically.
That's inspiring. You know, your story reminds me of Arnold Schwarzenegger. He arrived in the United States speaking limited English, But through years of practice and persistence, he became a successful businessman, actor, and governor.
Exactly. Success leaves clues. Most successful people didn't start with advantages, they developed habits.
Many people quit when motivation disappears.
That's why discipline is more important than motivation. Motivation comes and goes. Discipline stays.
So, how did you finally get your engineering job?
One night, while I was cleaning offices, my boss was talking with a friend. His friend mentioned that his company was looking for a chemical engineer. As I cleaned nearby, I listened carefully. And suddenly I realized something incredible.
Wait, Diego, were you eavesdropping? Ha ha ha.
Ha ha ha, maybe a little.
Diego, that's a bit naughty.
I know, but it was for a good reason.
Actually, Diego, what does eavesdropping mean?
Eavesdropping means secretly listening to a conversation that isn't meant for you. For example, my brother was eavesdropping on my phone call from behind the door.
Oh, I see. And what about a bit naughty?
A bit naughty means behaving slightly badly or breaking a small rule in a playful way. For example, the little boy was a bit naughty when he hid his sister's toys.
Got it? Can you use both in one sentence?
Sure, I was being a bit naughty because I was eavesdropping on your conversation.
That's exactly what happened.
Guilty as charged. Thank you, Emma. Anyway, I understood almost 80% of their conversation.
Amazing.
I couldn't believe it. A year earlier, I understood only about 30% of what people were saying. At that moment, I realized my English had improved a lot. After his friend left, I approached my boss and said, "Actually, I'm a chemical engineer." He looked surprised. We talked for several minutes. A few days later, I was invited for an interview.
Wow, that's incredible.
The funny thing is that if I hadn't understood that conversation, I would never have known about that opportunity.
That's true. Sometimes opportunities are right in front of us, but we are not ready to see them yet.
Exactly. Learning English didn't just help me speak. It helped me recognize opportunities. It gave me confidence. And it helped me build a better future for my family.
Diego, before we finish, what message would you give to migrants who feel stuck today?
Never underestimate small daily actions. You don't need to become fluent in a month. You only need to become a little better every day. One podcast, one conversation, one new word, one more attempt. The person you become after a year of persistence will surprise you.
That's beautiful. Before we say goodbye, let's see how well our audience was listening.
Oh, I like this part.
Question number 1. Why did Diego decide to leave Colombia? A. Because he wanted to learn English. B. Because he wanted a safer future for his family. C. Because he wanted to travel the world. Think about your answer.
The correct answer is B. I wanted a safer future for my family.
Great. Question number 2. How much of Australian English did Diego understand when he first arrived? A. 30%, B. 60%, C. 90%.
The answer is A, about 30%.
Excellent. You're ready to take your IELTS now. And the last question. What did Diego do every morning to improve his English? A. He watched movies all day. B. He slept 2 extra hours. C. He woke up early, listened to podcasts, and practiced shadowing.
The answer is C. He woke up early, listened to podcasts, and practiced shadowing.
If you got all 3 questions right, congratulations.
And if you didn't, don't worry. Keep practicing. That's exactly how we learn.
We'll see how attentive our audience was. Thank you so much for joining us today, Diego.
Thank you for having me, Emma.
And thank you to everyone listening. Remember, small actions every day can change your future. See you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.